when the car's pretty much sitting on the ground and there's no handle to pull yourself up, you got to like do some weird shimmy out of the thing.
It's
like
good for your core.
Fuck that.
How you get
I want to
abs.
step up into my vehicle. I don't want to like lay down into it.
This is why you don't have a six pack, dude. If you had fucking Miata, you'd be
ripped.
You'd be getting great exercise. You'd have to eat way more protein just to get in and out of your car.
So what I've been doing is it's a new thing. We'll see how it goes. Like, I love making mixes, and I listen to a lot of the same music through the summers and stuff, or whatever season it is. I get into some songs, and I listen to those same songs over and over. And I do the same never come up with good names. So now what I've been doing is I can just go. It's like I've got summer 2020 jams. So anytime I hear a song that I like in summer of 2020, I'm putting it on that mix.
Yeah.
And that's it. Like,
nice. No, that's a good idea.
And then I'm going to move on soon because I am getting very tired of the mix.
Yeah.
And then I'll just start putting, because I'm actually getting to the point where like I'm going halfway down the mix and not listening to the first few songs.
You're not listening to the first half because it's all burnt out.
Because I blew that
Honestly,
one out.
I've been doing the same thing, but in an even less like committed way. Spotify has a playlist that it auto generates called On Repeat. And then I've been repeating on repeat.
Okay.
To the point that I hate half of those songs now because I've been listening to them over and over since like May. And it's September 17th now or something like that.
It's essentially the same thing. That's my on repeat.
Yeah, I'm doing the same thing but in a lazier way.
It is a little lazier, but also you don't have much new stuff getting into that rotation. How do you get new stuff into your rotation?
Yeah, I do have to branch out. Every now and then I do. I'll discover, I do that every now and then. I discover a new artist. I listen to some stuff, and then I find like 2 or 3 of their songs sort of rotate in. Stuff rotates in and out, but it's like, then I just will listen to that on repeat because I'm like, oh, these are all the songs I like right now. And I did that too much.
The funny thing about mine right now, I'm going to be totally honest, since it's a summer jams, I'm also trying to pick songs that are like hot right now. So it's sort of like, because I noticed there was a few songs that were on like the top 40 sort of mixes, because I don't really listen to the radio anymore, but like occasionally Jody will be like, let's listen to something new. And then so I'm like, okay, we'll do like new noteworthy or like whatever the hot mix is. And I'll kind of just skip till a song that I like or whatever it is. Like I was listening to a podcast and they were talking about Shinedown. I'd never heard of it. It's like this rock metalish sort of band.
What's their song? I feel like I have heard of Shinedown. I think I've
the song that's on my mix is called Devil, not The Devil. It's just called Devil. I don't know. There's kind of like, they kind of are just like a classic rock sounding band.
Okay.
I like their sound. They kind of have, you can tell like some of their influences are definitely just like, it's sort of like a, I don't know, like a newer Metallica or something like that. Like a more updated.
Yeah, I'm trying to, I remember I heard of them. I think they did a show in Bozeman at some time when I was in college and a bunch of kids went to it and liked them. You know what I just did though? I was just waiting before you sent the Zoom. I was sitting here on my couch with the mic hooked up and the headphones on. And I was like, just kind of talking to myself. And I thought, it'd be cool. And I brought up GarageBand and played one of the beats that I've been making and then freestyled over it and didn't record it. And it was awful. I'm not a good freestyler whatsoever, but it was kind of fun. Like every now and then I'd have like 3 bars that were cohesive.
That's so you write those down and then
I can't.
Those are the keepers.
No, I can't.
Throw it all away.
They weren't good. They just like rhymed and flowed.
And you were like, oh, nailed it. And you're like, shit, now I'm off.
Yeah, I'm pretty much every rapper now. And I was like, no, I'm not. No, because as soon as I get confident at all, then I'm just like, oh, I'm going to have rhymes. I'm just going to have rhymes now. And then it goes away immediately.
One of the things that...
Have you ever tried freestyle rapping, like alone in your car or alone in your home?
Every time I'm alone in my car.
Okay.
Have I tried it? It happens every time I'm alone in my car. But I kind of end up rhyming the same things. And like, I think like I fall into these like ruts, and then I'm realizing that they're like from songs I know or like whatever. I'm not good. I don't do it in public. I'm not going to do it on this podcast.
No, I wasn't going to ask you to
give...
because I would refuse if you asked me to.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, no, I'm fucking terrible, and I've tried quite a number of
happening.
times.
I mean, it's
usually when I'm driving on the freeway, like if I've got a long freeway drive, at some point I will try to freestyle rap, and it'll last 5 minutes, and then I'll just be like, I'm not good at this.
That's
about it.
Okay, a couple things. You gotta you gotta stop saying that. That's the first thing. Like, because you're cutting yourself off at the knees. You're losing before you even started by saying that. The problem is I can
hear.
Yeah.
And so I know that as an absolute fact.
If you want to know, this is the Mr. Miyagi style way of learning how to rap. You know how Mr. Miyagi because this is pretty pertinent. I've been watching that.
You've been watching that. Yeah, I'm not watching it, but
it's good. Okay. I don't know. I went through season 1. We're talking about Cobra Kai. Cobra
Kia, as you said on the text thread the other day.
I wrote that in there, and I was like,
David saw that. David and I were hanging out. Yeah, David was escaping the smoke, hanging out at my house, and he's like, Bjorn wrote Cobra Kia, and I was like, oh,
Cobra Ford, more like.
I was like, I said, no, I think I like Cobra Hyundai, and I think he sent that back to the text thread.
That was pretty awesome. I was just like...
the luxury line Cobra Genesis.
Yeah, because Cobra Kia, well, it would have to be like an equivalent shitty car. Like, what's the equivalent car company to Kia?
Hyundai. They're the same company. They're both... they're
both...
They are? And Kias are like pretty good quality, I think.
Really?
They're Korean.
They're just everywhere. That's why I don't want one.
They have a really good warranty, and they cost pretty reasonable amounts of money new, and they come with a lot of good shit. Yeah. Same as Hyundai. I think they're the same company, or they're closely related.
Well, like
Kia has some cool cars, like the Stinger. The Kia Stinger is fucking cool.
Yeah, I actually like the Telluride.
Yes, the truck, cool. The new truck, it's really nice looking.
Yeah,
like they knocked it out of the park. And the new
gas
Hyundai,
mileage is garbage in that thing, though.
The newest Hyundai Sonata, the 2021 or whatever the fuck, the brand new one. I saw one the other day, and they nailed it. Like, those have been an ugly ass car for the last like 10 years.
Honda. I'm trying to remember what my mom drives. I think that's what my mom drives.
The Hyundai Sonata. It's just like the Camry. It's like the family car.
It's a car. I don't know. It's just like there's nothing notable.
Fucking, like, the taillights look cool and the grill looks aggressive, and it's like they really nailed the styling. I was stoked. I saw it on the road. I was like, what the fuck is that? And I was like, that's a Hyundai Sonata? That shit is dope.
I was looking at the Kona. I'm not mad
at that thing looks cool.
Because I'm looking for a car for Jody, and so like we've been trying to figure it out. Like, we're probably gonna get that Lexus that you recommended, the T200,
the Prius CT200H.
CT200H. Yeah, there it is.
I've always just kind of thought that was a cool looking.
It's a great car. It's a great car. And exactly what he's looking for. But the only thing he's worried about is that when he sat in it, he had to put it all the way down and all the way back, and it still wasn't like.
Yeah, then you shouldn't get that car. Like, you should get a car that he's comfortable in.
Drive it, actually, not just sit in it, and like maybe spend a little bit more time, because we just kind of like got in, and it was just sort of like, okay, I can just kind of pretend because you don't have your license yet.
Yeah,
he's working on it. It's
vroom,
like,
vroom, vroom. Is that what he did,
dude? Literally, right now,
pretend
all he has to do is go and just bring
beep.
all the paperwork into the DMV, and he's done everything.
He's almost there.
It's just his DMV visit got canceled because of the smoke, and he just rescheduled. So we'll soon.
Well, smoke is clearer today than it's been in a week. I'm really excited about that.
But
hopefully,
you have to put. It's hard to get appointments, though. They called him and rescheduled it, so that was good. Anyway, so I've been I looked at the Kona. I saw it in person. I was like, "Oh, that's a cool looking car." And then I looked at the photos, and I was like, "I hate this car so much."
I don't like it. I don't like those tiny SUVs.
I was like,
nope. All it seems like is it seems like a little car,
dude.
with all the annoyances of a little car, but the gas mileage of like a great big car.
I used to make fun of my friend's little Spark. I hated sitting in the back seat of it is like being on a motorcycle because cars seem like they're just gonna hit you in the back.
Yeah, one of those teeny tiny little cars.
Yeah, and like a Ford Ranger grill looks like it's gonna take out the back window.
Right now, small cars that are low to the ground. Some of them are kind of cool. Not like a Chevy Spark. That's just a small.
My friend's car, my bike has bigger tires than that thing does.
Yeah, no, those cars they serve a purpose, but they're not that cool. But like sports cars are cool. They're small, but they're like fun and cool, and they're fast, and they go around corners nice.
I'm not a sports car guy. I'm just not. I don't know why. I probably because it's like that's what my dad's think. My dad's always been into that stuff.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
I'm like I've driven a bunch of different little cars, and I'm just not into it. I'm just not a sports car guy, and I do not know why. Like I kind of understand the appeal, but I kind of just not really. It's just not for me. I don't know why.
I don't know. I don't have practical car skills, but I've read a lot of car magazines since I was like 10 years old. So like, I like sports cars, and if I had a lot of money, I would 100% have a sports car of some sort.
Yeah.
You know, just like whatever the coolest thing I could afford.
See, what I'm gonna do when I have lots of money, because I'm an optimist, and when I have lots of money, I'm gonna buy dumb cars that I liked when I was younger, and I'm gonna just rebuild them and put like crazy engines in stupid cars. That's
no,
what
I love that
do.
idea.
Like I want to buy
what's
old
called a resto
Subarus.
mod.
Yeah, I want to do old Subarus. Like I want a collection of Subaru Loyals,
like Subaru GLs, like the late '80s with the
like the square
part-time 4-wheel drive. Yeah, the squared off. Yeah, those are cool. But then you're gonna put like
a Subaru, a WRX engine into it, like drop one of those into it.
No, put like a Chevy LS, like a Corvette motor. I mean, if you're putting
that's true.
You're doing an engine swap anyway, so you might as well go with, go big or go home, and then go with the hackiest engine swap in the car community, which is a Chevy LS that people put in everything.
Is that? I don't know. See, I don't know that much about
the LS series is the Chevy small block, and like in car modding community, it's kind of a hack joke at this point because people have dropped an LS motor in like every car. Like there's hundreds of LS Miatas across America making 500 horsepower and just blowing the doors off everything because it's a tiny little car.
I drove my friend's Miata one time and I hated it.
Really?
Like, I hate
those
it
are
so
supposed
much.
to be the most fun car. I've never driven a Miata.
I think it was because
they're not fast, but they like, they take corners. You could get you get the tail end out because they're so light.
I did not like.
Cool.
First of all, getting in and out of it was not easy for me. When the car's pretty much sitting on the ground and there's no handle to pull yourself up, you got to like do some weird shimmy out of the thing.
That's
like
good for your core.
Fuck that.
How you get
I want to step up into my vehicle. I don't want to like lay down into it.
This is why you don't have a six pack, dude. If you had a fucking Miata, you'd be you'd be getting great exercise. You'd have to eat way more protein just to get in and out of your car. It'd be fantastic. Workout is taken care of.
Oh my god. All right. Dude, real quick though.
Yeah.
I was I found another shoe that I think you'll like.
All right.
I think I might have nailed it.
Okay.
I really like this model, whatever, this silhouette. I was on cars. I like this silhouette of this shoe and I want one, but then I came across this one and I just tell me if I got it right. Did I get your style? This one. Have you seen this?
What is that?
It's the Jordan Air Cadence Olympic rings. So it's like for the Olympics or whatever. But it's got like this primary color blocking thing. And I really like the silhouette, but I just thought that this looked like a shoe that you would really like. Did I get it right? Or are you gonna just
I don't
fuck
like
me
it
over?
very
You don't
much
like
at
it?
all.
Oh
no.
So close. Really?
No. Yeah, really. I think, you know what? One of the things I don't like about it, I don't like the angle of the tongue. I don't like that super streamlined. It looks like a running shoe.
Yeah, that's
and
why
it kind of looks
like
it looks like one of those futuristic running shoes that they've been trying to come out with.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not really a fan of those.
Really?
I
I
kind
thought
of
you
like
liked the futuristic running shoe things.
which ones do I
I
like?
don't know. I don't know, dude. This just kind of looks like
I like the color blocking. There are things I like about it.
Well, because there was one that came out today that was this gray one. I'll just go back a few.
Okay.
Yeah,
I was looking at the shoes that came out today, and I completely ignored that one and scrolled right past it. Yeah, that I scrolled right past that shoe immediately.
I was like, how did I miss that? I thought that one was sick. I don't know. I'm into that one. It is like that futuristic running shoe, but it has some cool accents and things.
Yeah.
Like I like that heel tab pull. You can't turn any of these ones. I couldn't find one. That's why I was looking at so many of them because I wanted to see the front.
Can you go to the sneakers app? Is it still? Well, it's probably sold out at that.
Oh yeah, price, it's sold out.
All right.
All these sold out.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry.
All right.
I'm not a huge fan of that shoe. Yeah.
There's the children's one. And then, of course, there's just the black on black one. Whatever. Who cares? Anyway, that was just a random thing that I was just like, that was one that came out today. Because that other one came out today.
The fragment. I was going to go for that, and then I totally just forgot to wake up. I'm going to go for those dunks that come out tomorrow and take it out. The like dark green ones or whatever.
They're
a
Tokyo hack.
No, that was a Jordan. That was kind of a cool shoe. No, they're like a dark green dunk high that's dropping tomorrow.
Okay. Ooh, there's this chlorophylls coming out. This one looks cool. I'd fuck with this one.
Bring that one up.
All right. And then I'm going to try and actually explain it too. So it's a Jordan 3. It's gray and black with black elephant print. It's got a gray heel tab with the Nike Air, but it's kind of just like got some hits of green.
Jumpman is green. Okay.
The Jumpman is green. The inside looks like it's green. And then it's got like a white cream on the sole. And then the bottom sole is
that's a
cement,
cool colorway.
Right.
And that's coming out when?
11/10.
2018.
Oh, that came out already. What the fuck?
Are they re-releasing it?
I think so.
All right. Cool.
Yeah. Anyway.
No, I don't hate that at all. That's a really cool colorway.
I like that one.
All right. So we want to get to today's.
Yeah, let's talk about today's shoe. What are we talking about?
Today's shoe isn't even a sneaker. It's a boot. This is the Viberg service boot. This is my pair. Mine is made out of Kudu leather.
Can you hold it up closer?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. I like the laces.
Yeah, the laces I got in it right now are the flat, like wax nylon laces.
Is there an advantage to the nylon waxed?
Oh, I think they just lay nice and flat. I don't know why they're waxed. That's something I haven't looked into. This particular pair of shoes, it also comes with a pair of leather laces, but they're real bulky, and I don't love the way they look. Some people like the leather lace look.
Nope. I hate them.
These kind of boots. So this pair, I got them from Division Road up in Seattle. This is one of their exclusives. They're like the only people that sell Viberg in the Pacific Northwest, other than Viberg themselves, who are in Victoria, BC. That's where this boot is made and where that bootmaker is located. They've been around for like 100 years. They started somewhere, I think maybe Calgary, somewhere in Canada, or it was somewhere in Saskatchewan. Anyway, and eventually moved out to Victoria, BC. They were like a logging boot company. They made like logging boots and firefighting boots for most of like the 1900s. And then somewhere in like the 80s or 90s, they came out with this, the service boot, which the silhouette is like for a Canadian military officer boot.
Oh, okay. That's why the service.
That's why it's called the service boot, but it's kind of a dressy boot. Like it's the military officer like dress boot. And they came out with this boot, and it became like a fashion item. Like it got really popular in Japan, and just really it's just like, it's a really nice shape of a boot.
What's the bottom look like? What's the grip look like?
Okay, the
Does it
bottom
have that like? Oh, cool.
It's a lug sole. This is the Day Night sole. Day Night is a British company that makes outsoles, and it's just kind of a hard rubber. It's decent in the rain. It's not the best as far as grip, but it's far from the worst. They make some with like a Vibram outsole. They have some different options. They have a lot of options in this boot. Like, you can kind of get all sorts of different shapes and outsoles and leathers.
Did you special order them, or did you kind of just buy right off the rack?
I didn't. I just bought them off the rack, but they're a store exclusive.
Okay. You didn't build them from the sole up.
No, you can do that. And the next time that Division Road they have like once every year or two, like a event where the Viberg people come down and you can place your order for a custom pair.
Mm-hmm.
Now that's expensive. These are expensive on their own off the rack. These were $745, and if you get a custom pair, it's easily over $1,000.
Okay.
So I do want to do that at some point, but that's when I'm gonna have to be careful and save my money and not just be stupid. So yeah, this is built on the 2030 last. For anybody that knows about Viberg, they'll know that that's the most popular. The last is basic. It's like the mold that gives the shoe a shape, and they build the leather around that, or like put the shoe together around that. So the 2030 last it gives it this, it's like the almond shaped toe. It's very sleek. It's kind of lower here. It doesn't have like the big toe, like the bulbous toe that like the Red Wing Iron Ranger has.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a really sleek and kind of dressy last. I think it's like a D or an E width, but it's kind of weirdly tight in the toe. Like it doesn't fit everybody. And honestly, these
sound like it's not gonna fit me.
They were uncomfortable for me for like a while. Like they took a long time to break in. Also, the sizing is wacky on boots. And especially on these, because they're made in Victoria, BC, which is kind of, there's a lot of British influence in all of Canada, but especially Victoria. Okay. So these are closer to a UK size, and then they run, so that they're weird. Like I would ideally wear like an 8 to an 8.5 in these. And this is a 7.5. And I'd never bought a pair of boots like this. And when I was at the store, we went through all the sizes, and my foot, went in, and it was very snug in the 7.5, and they said, that's what you want. And it has loosened up. Like at this point, I can wear them and they're pretty comfortable, but I do wish I'd gone with the 8. I think it would have been slightly more comfortable for me. And it's just one of those things. I think it's more of a live and learn type of thing. And like once I realized that the break-in
it's only $750, like, so whatever, right?
Well, part of the reason I went with the smaller size, is because it's that much. So I'm planning to have these forever.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't want it to fit me right away perfect and then break in after 1 year and then be too fucking big. Okay. And then you have $1,000 pair of shoes that's too big for you for most of the years that you have to wear it.
See, that's never happened to me.
Yeah, like your toes hurt for a few months versus your foot is sloshing around for a whole lifetime. That was kind of the options. So that's why they size you into.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and those guys are cool. Like I would highly recommend that shop. Like I had issues with it when I first got them. Like it was a lot of pain, and I was emailed them. I was like, is this right? Like this shit fucking hurts. And so they said, nah, bring them in. And I brought them up there, and they stretched them for me. Like there's a shoe stretching thing. Like they modified them.
Was this an impulse purchase, or was this like a really
this
thought out?
This is a pair that I'd wanted for like 4 years, and I finally got money, and I finally got them. So
gotcha.
Yeah, I'd been wanting these since I was like in college and first got into looking at like nice shoes, and I was like, oh, those are the fucking coolest boots ever.
Okay.
And I can't even come close to affording them. So I saved for a while, just kind of like I saved all my credit card points until I had enough to just pretty much buy these.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's
so
a
it
cool
was
way
like
to do it.
I'd been thinking about it for a couple of years.
So these are almost like a grail shoe for you. A
They
college
were.
grail shoe.
Well, and even like I had my job for well over a year when I got these. Like these are just a grail. This is the first grail shoe I ever got, for
Nice.
sure. Yeah. So let's see. Kudu leather. Kudu is an African antelope.
Okay.
It's the twirly horned one. They're pretty big. They're almost the size of an elk. The greater kudu is the animal this is from. And I read about it. The leather is called the snuff color, and it's called the naked kudu. It's made by C.F. Stead Tannery in England. And they get the hides from South Africa every year. The government has to cull a bunch of those kudus, for population control.
Mm-hmm.
And so they get the hides from that. So they're not being poached. These animals are like, the government's gunning them down for one reason or another. And so they're like send the hides up. Yeah, so this is like recycling.
They're like the little birds that live in Costco.
Every now and then. Now
someone goes in and has to shoot them.
Yeah, so it's probably those, and then like trophy hunters. Kudus are super popular with people who go on various African hunts.
Yeah.
And they're not going to take the whole hide home most of the time. They'll take like the cape, so you can do a shoulder mount. So then the rest of the hide probably goes in a pile, and they send them up to turn them into leather. So it's something to do with animals that are getting shot anyway. So I don't feel bad about that. I looked into it. I read about it on that tannery's website, and then on another website, Heddle's, that had a little article about kudu leather. Another thing about kudu leather is some tanneries like Horween, which is a really popular tannery with shoe leathers. It's based in Chicago. Their kudu leather is actually cow skin. They just tan it in a different way and call it kudu. This is legit from an antelope.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if it shows.
What?
If it does, I don't know, but there are little dark spots on this leather.
Okay. I pulled up the website that you sent me. Are you talking about here? I'll pull it up here. Are you talking about like this here? Almost like that stuff?
Yeah. Okay. You see how there's dark spots?
Yeah, there's
so those are scars from the animal living in the wild and like running into thorns.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And it's a cool leather. It's tough, but it's really nice and soft. Like it broke in very nicely, and it's super soft.
Okay.
Yeah, and it looks cool. Those are the shoes.
And it's like super unique.
Yeah, it's really neat because it's like, you can tell that this was like a wild animal that lived a crazy life and was, running into thorns and shit. And
now it's a pair of shoes. Yeah, these so that grip's really interesting to me. You're saying it's like it's good. It's not great in the rain.
I mean, like if you're literally buying boots specifically to walk in the rain, you wouldn't spend $745 on premium leather.
Dude, these aren't as good as my fucking Dunlops, dude.
Yeah, no, you get some muck boots if you're worried about the rain and the optimal rain footwear.
Can we please do an episode about my Dunlap work boots that I bought for $5 from Bimart?
Yeah, why
for
not?
A fishing photo shoot.
Yeah. Can we do my muck boots that I bought for $135 to go duck hunting?
I bought it's wild standing in a river, and it's like your feet are cold but like not wet. It's a wild feeling. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
I do.
From fishing.
Some more details on these boots though.
Yeah.
They're just like, I know a lot about them because I researched them a lot, and there's a lot of things that are unique.
Oh, yeah.
But the Viberg is kind of the grail for a lot of boot people. Like anybody who's buying like Wolverines.
You mean boot heads?
No, maybe. I don't think they call themselves that.
Booter heads.
Well, the subreddit for them is r/Goodyear Welt.
Goodyear Welt?
Yeah, which is talking about the construction of the boots. And a lot of those people, the Viberg is their grail. And the fun fact there is this is not a Goodyear welted boot.
What's that
So
mean?
Goodyear
What's
welt
Goodyear welted?
construction it's one of the ways in which you can attach the upper to the sole.
Oh, okay.
And on a Goodyear welt, there's a second piece of leather. It's like a hoop of leather
That goes on top.
that you attach. You stitch the upper to that piece of leather, and then you kind of fold that in, and then you stitch that piece of leather to the sole. This is a stitch down, which means the upper is stitched directly to the sole.
Okay.
So this one, the upper kind of folds out. Goodyear welt, the upper kind of folds in and under, and then that second little piece of leather where it's stitched there, and then that piece is.
Gotcha.
So I think Goodyear welt is technically a little better at keeping the weather out, although these are fine at that too. These are really well made.
Do they have like a wood sole, or is that also?
They don't.
Like
that's leather. It's stacked leather with rubber, or with the Day-Night.
Gotcha.
And there's a steel shank in the middle, like for arch support and to keep everything stiff. These fucking things weigh a lot.
Do they?
Yeah, they weigh like a couple pounds.
I like the waxed laces much better than the.
I do too. They lay nice and flat.
They're pictured in this. I don't know why. I'm just not a huge fan of leather laces.
Yeah, I'm not either.
It'd be funny to put a pair of leather laces like into like a Jordan 1 or something, like something else.
Put them in the Yeezys.
yeah. Put them in
like a goof.
So it looks like a moccasin.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, these are the butter leather laces.
Yeah, no, this is a super limited model, dude. Yeah, Kanye made one pair of Yeezys with leather laces.
It's like the engine swap of these are Viberg laces, dude.
No, that's like putting a Mercedes hood ornament on like your Toyota.
I feel like somebody in my school did something along those lines.
Or actually, no, the Yeezy is like Yeezy's like a hopped up Toyota. It's like an FRS.
I feel like the
Toyota 86.
Yeezys to me are like that car that, like you said, that like three different, you can get like the Scion version, the Subaru version.
The one I just said, the Toyota 86, the FRS.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
It's 100% the Yeezy.
Where it's just kind of like this like hype beastie, like
there is a lot of hype around that car. It is a great little car from everything I've read about it. It's supposed to be super fun. Another car that you can get the tail end out really easy. Like you can drift that car really nicely, even though it's a 4-cylinder. Like it's not fast, but it's really fun. I don't think it's slow either. It's just like not fast. Anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, these boots, they're something that we haven't really done before as this kind of a shoe. Now, the beauty of these can be completely rebuilt, the Viberg. So like once this, like if this sole wears out, which it will eventually, like, you know, you can tell it's kind of wearing down in places, because I've probably worn these like 100 days. I used to wear them to the office all the time for like business casual.
Mm-hmm.
So I can get a new sole put on really easy. Just send it back and they take the shit off and sew a new one on.
That's cool.
Yeah. And then does
it cost money, or is that sort of like a lifetime guarantee sort of situation?
No, that costs money.
Okay.
But like you don't have to do that very often.
Right.
And yeah, and it's as long as you take care of the leather, these things will last forever. And they'll just keep looking cooler. Like the more you beat them up and they get like little scars on them and the leather really molds to your foot. Like the sole with the leather sole, it molds to your foot. Like you can feel there's like.
So it has a leather insole too?
Yeah. There's a little bit of padding like from here to here. There's a little thing down there with a tiny bit of foam.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, it's rock hard. Like these things are weird.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, dude, it's fucking hard,
Like,
bro.
are your shoes rocked up? Mine are.
Yeah,
Mine's
my
got
shoes.
steel shank in it, bro. It's like a
Yeah,
fucking
no,
steel
these things
shank
are
down
as
there.
hard as it gets, bro. As hard as it gets. But they're yeah, they're weird to get used to, like going from a sneaker to these back and forth. Like your foot's gonna hurt in these.
Yeah.
So
I see. I'm into it, but like I couldn't do the painful days that like that would be
yeah, but the
required for me to get that.
dedication,
I
then there's like
know.
it's like a reward thing. Like you're putting in the work, you know? You're
I
willing to go to fucking open mics for however
it's
many
the
years you've
open
been going to
mics.
fucking open mics and you can't put a few days into having sore toes to have a dope pair of boots?
It's because I have a lot of days of sore toes. Anyway,
You
regardless
were
of
gonna
the
have them
shoe.
anyway.
So you might as well make it in a.
You're burning daylight over there. You're wasting fucking time.
I have to rotate through shoes just because so that there's different parts
And
of
that's
my
what you
foot
have to
hurt.
do with these.
Like I couldn't
You
wear those
definitely
more
have to
than
rotate through.
one day.
When I first got them, I would wear them. I would force myself to wear them like 2 or 3 days in a row, so that they would stay because like the sweat from your foot kind of helps the leather mold
Yeah.
to your foot. Like it doesn't smell bad; it still smells leathery. I mean, I'm not gonna like prove that to you in any way, but like you can take my word for it.
Yeah. So if
But yeah, I was
somebody,
like, I put a lot of work into breaking these shoes in.
yeah, no, they're rad. I mean, dude, they're cool. I just personally, I'm gonna give you my take,
Yeah.
unsolicited. But I really like that leather. The price is hard for me to swallow because I just feel here's my problem.
Yeah.
I would be so scared to wear them as much as you need to wear them to get them to where they need to be because of how expensive they are. Like for me, even though I was thinking about it, I was like, well, but like ski boots and snowboard boots are hundreds of dollars and I've worn the shit out of those and not really cared.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's that moment. Do you experience this? Like I always have whenever I have a new pair of shoes. There's some skate shoes. I got over this very quickly where I just like was going through skate shoes so fast that I didn't even care. I just put them on and start
Like the
like
moment
in
you
the I'd
first
walk
fuck
them
up.
out of the store, like that much of a not giving a fuck of them. But like whenever I'd get like a nice pair, and I specifically remember these ones that I got when I was a kid that were my first Fila's. I'm kind of I'm so embarrassed with this. They were white, like completely white. God, who was the basketball player? Oh no, I knew him. Anyway, they were these Fila's and they were white. And I remember I only wore them in my house. I think I wore them to school one time and they got muddy and then I never wore them to school ever again. Let me see if I can find it.
So you're saying that moment when you first fuck up a nice pair of shoes?
I have a hard time wearing, like I've always been weird about wearing shoes.
Yeah,
Like
no, I had
that are really
moment with these.
expensive or nice or whatever.
No, I had
like,
that moment with these because one time I was wearing them and I went and hung out with some friends at a brewery. And then I was taking a Lime scooter across a bridge to get back to like
your first mistake.
Yeah, well, I was trying to get across the bridge because this was like, oh, I think it was just because I was drinking, so I just took like the max. This was last year before there was a pandemic, and I, was still riding the max train and shit. So I was taking a Lime scooter across a bridge, and the shit started to die, so I was like kicking, and I put a nice gash. I was just showing you right there in the leather on the heel, just a little scrape on there. So I was like, all right, well, these are, I mean, they were already like, you can't take them back once you wear them.
Yeah.
And they already had some little scuffs, but that was the first and only like big hit that they've taken. So now it's just cool because they're my pair of shoes, so that every little scar and scrape tells an epic story of getting drunk on a Lime scooter, and
they're like tattoos.
Yeah, sort of, except that these are just on some shoes that I can take off at the end of the day,
and they get better.
Yeah, this makes it better.
I found the shoe I was talking about, and then we'll close out. Do you know this shoe? this was the shoe that I had that I pretty much never wore outside.
I feel like I've seen those.
Did you ever see those?
The Field Grant Hill.
Yeah.
High top.
Was so hyped when I got these.
Those are cool. I don't hate those. I mean, they kind of, they just look like a high top. They're cool.
I just remember that I definitely like never wore those outside because I was like, I just remember them like I grew out of them because I never wore them because I was so scared I was going to mess them up because they were my only nice shoes. And I think I tried to wear them to like a wedding or church or something. My mom was like, you are not wearing those dumb basketball shoes to church. Not happening.
Yeah.
It was like, but these are my nicest. These are my shoes I got. I was like, we are not that trashy. We are not gonna do that.
And like, nah, bro, Jesus got to see this heat.
Yeah, Jesus got to see what I'm
going there and stun on Jesus.
Yeah. So I pretty much know the answer to this question, but if somebody broke into your house and
100%.
stole those shoes,
no, I was gonna say like the price on these is definitely high.
Yeah,
like you were saying, there's a lot of the reason that these are so expensive is just the craftsmanship. They're kind of like they're mostly handmade. They're made in a small factory with a few people that work in Victoria, BC. They're all made right there.
Yeah.
Like a local Pacific Northwest company. So that's cool. It's just the craftsmanship and the rarity. Like you can only get them in a handful of shops in America. They're all like little boutique like menswear stores that sell these. It's not, you can't get these things at fucking, Nordstrom's. I think you can get them at maybe Saks Fifth Avenue in New York or Barney's. Maybe. Yeah. I think there's one super high-end like department store in New York that sells these.
Yeah.
Sometimes. Like they'll get the basic pairs. They don't get any of the cool like nifty leathers and unique pairs. Those are all kind of either through Viberg themselves or through like their smaller dealers.
I really like that leather. It kind of reminds me, and I hate that I keep doing this, but it kind of reminds me of like that elephant print, like a little bit.
Yeah. No, I mean, that elephant print's probably called that because it looks like an animal hide.
Yeah. It kind of has like some elements of that. I mean, like these are way sicker personally, but like, yeah, that was just like a note that I had about them. Like it's like that speckled. I really like that. That's super cool and very unique.
Yeah, no, I'm super stoked on them because I wanted a dark brown pair, and I thought the Kudu was cool.
Do they come in different colors?
They come. There's like I was saying, there's probably 30 different leathers you can get these in at least. There's a lot in just basic like Horween, Chrome Excel. Those are the standard basic ones in there. I think about $670. That's about the cheapest you can get into the service boot. New.
Okay.
And then they make some of them in that, what was that horse leather we were talking about? I
don't know.
Remember we were talking about that on a different episode, the shiny horse leather.
Oh, yeah.
God damn it.
Is it horse butt?
No, although that's another leather they offer.
Waxed horse butt.
No. Are you on the Viberg site right now?
Yeah. I was just looking at the different.
Find whichever one costs like $1,100 or $1,200. Shell Cordovan.
Yeah. Okay, now I remember it.
Yeah, they make these in Shell Cordovan, various colors of that.
Ooh, chocolate waxy Kudu. That's cool.
Yeah. No, there's all kinds of cool leathers that they make these in. And different lasts too, like that. Like I was saying, the 2030 last is pretty narrow, but they've got some others that are a little bit bulkier, wider, and it's not even narrow. It's just kind of a weird shape that can pinch your toe, and it's kind of a lower, like this part, like the part above your toes and above your foot, the top of your foot, basically, is a little bit low compared to some others.
Oh,
and
it
they've
is?
got lasts. Yeah.
It's so funny. Like there's all these things that you're describing are like things that I just hate so much when
These
shoes
are
have.
all the places that
These are
hurt my feet
all the
the first
places. It's
50
like
times I wore
that,
these pairs of shoes.
that like
That's why I
knuckle
know that.
on your big toe.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that is the part. If something,
I wasn't
I put
aware
a
of
pair
that
of shoes
knuckle, and
on.
then I got these shoes, and then I was like, oh, there he is, right there.
If I have a pair of shoes, if I'm trying one on and I can feel that when I try it on, I'm like, this is not going to work. I'll be able to wear it. Like even this is a weird comparison, but it's the only boot that I have that I've tried to wear in to make it fit. But my Timberland boots that I have, those hurt that spot specifically, like right where that toe thing goes over. I need it to be like a little higher because I got this fucked up foot.
Yeah.
That it's weird because it's like one foot fits perfect, the other one is just hurting all day, and I struggle with that.
Yeah, so I guess I'll close this out. There are other options if our listeners want this style of boot, but they can't afford the Viberg. There's a lot of different brands between, like, on the low end. The lowest end is probably Thursday. I've heard that they're pretty decent quality, and they're kind of like a ordered online from us only type of company. So that's an option, and they're pretty similar in shape to these. The Wolverine 1000 Mile is pretty classic, and it's in the same vein. Those are pretty good, I think. The Red Wing looks a little different, but generally kind of workwear style. Oak Street Bootmakers, Truman is out of Eugene, Oregon now. They used to be in Colorado. Those are worth now stepping up to like $500, but those are pretty similar to these.
Okay.
So
how'd you find these from that subreddit?
From that subreddit, like when I was back in college, I was looking at it. I was like, "Oh, what's cool boots?" And then everybody was talking about Viberg, and then I just
cool
got into
boots.
Basically,
cool boots.
Oh, Alden.
Like
Alden is another brand that's also pretty expensive.
Yeah,
that's a classic boot. That might be the next pair I want. Is the Indy boot? It's what Indiana Jones wore in all the movies. Was an Alden boot. Those are pretty cool. So yeah, there's a lot of cool boots like this. These are kind of like the top of the line one. There's plenty of boots that are just as long lasting and look similar.
Like, what would they be if they were a car? Because we'll just keep that theme going.
Okay, if these were a car, these are the Toyota Land Cruiser.
Okay, so there's still there's some levels that we can go higher than
these
this.
Oh yeah. If you want to spend $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 on a pair of boots, somebody will absolutely take your fucking money. Yeah, you can get some. There's like Edward Green from England. They have a boot called the Galway. That's about $1,500. That's a grail for a lot of people. It's a cool looking boot. It's $1,500. There's a lot of after that, it's pretty much just custom.
Okay.
Like if you have $1,500 to spend on a pair of boots, somebody will measure your foot and make some shit that is
specific, like two different sizes. That would be so sick.
Yeah, exactly. Like
I think that's gonna be
$1,500, $2,000 to drop on a pair of shoes. Yeah, dude, you can get your own shit.
Here's what's gonna happen when I'm just crazy rich. I'm still gonna be a sneakerhead, but I'm gonna buy two pair of shoes and wear them together.
Yeah,
like a 10 and a 9. Just everybody.
I think everybody would. I think everyone has usually people's feet are each a little different. Yeah. Yours are just way different.
Yeah, so, size and a half.
A ton of different boots. This is I'll say the Toyota Land Cruiser because it's functional and it's really good.
Mm-hmm.
It's
and it looks like it should be going off road, but you don't really take it off road. Let's be real.
Yeah. And actually you would hurt yourself. These aren't good for hiking, really, in my opinion. I guess if you only ever wore this kind of shoe,
it's like the Land Cruiser. Or no, what's that company called? The Discovery.
The Land Rover.
Land Rover. It's like a Land
Range Rover.
It's a Range Rover.
Yeah. These are kind of a Range Rover type of shoe.
It's like a luxury safari vehicle.
Yeah. Yeah, I would call these. I'm gonna stick with the Toyota Land Cruiser of shoes.
All
That's
right.
what this is, because it's super premium. And the people who know what it is know what it is.
Okay.
That's the other thing, actually. This is going to be a long episode, but fuck it. That's another thing that's been slightly disappointing to me as like a sneakerhead. Is these are by far and away the most expensive pair of shoes I have by like a margin of 3 or at least 2. I don't know. More than 2, less than 3. Anyhow, they're like way more expensive than anything else I own.
Yeah.
Nobody gives a fuck. They're brown boots.
Right. That was
very rarely the kind of dude that I probably don't want to talk to for very long will know precisely what these are.
And he definitely has a award-winning facial hair going on.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
this
there is like a bird cage
of growth that led to this fairly pitiful beard. Actually, the beard's coming along nice. The mustache is pretty poor.
I'm just picturing this guy that's like, those are nice boots, see?
I'm talking about my own facial here, guys. I've been trying to grow a beard because we're in quarantine. I got nobody to impress. And the beard part's coming along good, but the mustache is pretty sparse.
Nick, what am I? Chopped liver? You can impress me. I'm just kidding.
You weren't impressed. You just said something.
I was just kidding.
Anyhow. No, it's fair. But
yeah, that is the thing. They don't scream. They're not like a Ferrari. They don't like they're kind of a sleeper. They're too much of a sleeper, you know.
That's why I said the Toyota Land Cruiser, because really it looks just like every other truck out there. Unless you know. Unless you really know and you see the shape and the 2 rows of stitching.
See, I don't know, and I've seen them a bunch of times, and to me, they're just brown boots.
Brown boots, yeah, which is technically what they are, but like,
I'm trying to think of the
best brown boots.
The most expensive footwear that I own. I don't know if I could answer that, right? Like, yeah, but it's definitely like.
It's these for me, and then those Yeezy 700s. Those are $300. Those are. Oh, I guess I have a pair of like hiking boots that were like 400 and something, but those are like a functional pair of shoes. I bought those because I just wanted to not buy hiking boots again for 20 years.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like my snowboard boots are probably the most expensive boots that I have. And I mean, I got them for free, but they're probably, if I paid for them, would be like $300 or $400.
Okay, yeah. No, ski and snowboard boots cost a shitload of money.
Dude, my ski boots.
I got mine on sale, but the next ski boots I get, I'm spending all the money.
Dude, I'm spending more.
Custom. Yeah, I'm just gonna go to the shop and have them heat mold the shit or whatever they do.
Exactly.
Make sure it fits perfect.
They like put it in the insoles in a toaster, and you wear them around.
Mine are like too tight, and then halfway through the day they loosen up, and I'm starting to fall out my damn boots whenever I go over a hill.
They're packed out. That's what that is. Yeah.
What's that mean?
So they're plastic boots. So like basically all of the padding that was in there at some point has been completely compressed.
That makes sense.
So that's why they're not.
10 years.
So yeah, if you've had boots that long, ski boots that long, like dude, mine I got for like $20 from a thrifty, like the thrift store equivalent of like a ski shop.
Yeah.
And I got them because they matched my skis in color and they fit my feet. Dude, they are so damn uncomfortable. Like, and they are beyond packed out, but they're like old school racing boots.
Nice.
Anyway.
All right. I guess we should wrap that up.
Yeah, we should probably wrap it up. Thank you guys so much for listening, watching. Make sure and like and subscribe. Follow us on YouTube. Follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. We have new episodes coming at you every Wednesday. Tell your friends about it. Share it. Comment. Do all that fun stuff. Yeah, leave a 5-star review or whatever review that you want. We'll probably read it. If it's fun, I'll read it on here. All right. Thanks, everybody.
Yep. Thanks.